or expect Trump to fire him, just as a lot of people advised him. He decided to do the right thing. And you see somebody like Andrew Wiseman suggesting that it would have been better that he stayed and forced the hand of Donald Trump to fire him. Whatever the intention is, I don't think it makes any difference. They are saying that the reason why they wanted him to do that is to shed the light on the so-called interference of the president's over politicization of the system by the president. Unfortunately, they forget to tell you that the system had been over politicized both before Trump had, while he was in office, and even before he made the move to come in now. Why do I say that? Because before the office in 2016, they spied on his campaign. They spied the inner circle of his campaign and spied on him directly, including spying his Trump Tower. And when that didn't work, they orchestrated a move to start impeachment by appointing a special counsel to investigate Trump, claiming that he was an agent of the Russian government. That was over politicization, including getting the Pfizer warrant with a falsified document. That came and left. So in 2020, all the way to 2024, they have been on his tail, including raiding his house, sending military-style FBI agent to go and search his house and turned it upside down for a crime they have been investigating, or so-called crime they have been investigating Biden of, and which they hid so well in the second term, the midterm election. They didn't make it open that Joe Biden has been having classified documents. They hid it from every orchestra own, and then later on revealed it. By then, the damage of the midterm has already been done. So all those, it just shuts up the argument that Trump did what or that to the FBI. They over politicize themselves, and whatever comes to them, firing them is well justified. Everyone knows why Comey was fired. A new president came in, he went on not just tapping his line, but also sending some agents to trap him in. And when that didn't work, it was him that wrote the memoir that was later on used by Bob Mueller. And it was him that suggested Bob Mueller for that investigation that lasted for almost half of Trump's tenure, destroying every possible move he had to make a great impact. It was even a surprise that he did the much he did, considering the postering the media did. Every single time he was abroad negotiating one thing, they're showing split screen. One showing his investigation at home, and the other one showing whatever he was doing abroad, which was not just an affront, but a complete undermining of a system that was meant to serve the general public. Now, finally, Wray, of course, it was him that nominated Wray. But Wray, who was supposed to be an agent of change, became a pure monster animal. The swamp that was supposed to be drained didn't just eat him. They turned him into the greatest monster of the swamp. Trump had no alternative than to let him. He made it very clear in the last interview he had that I am not a fan of him. He raided my home. You know what it means. They raided his home, including opening Melania's underwear cabinet. You know what that means. That is the humiliation of the highest order, and it was done by the same FBI agent he himself nominated. The fact that he went to that point, instead of showing the absurdity of going to raid a president for the first time in their history, he carried it out, including claiming that the shot at his ear would have been something else. That was another affront, and he made it open in the last interview that he wasn't going, he's not a fan. And nominating somebody is obvious that he's going to go out one way or the other. Either get fired or go out yourself, and he chose to go out. So let us see, hear what few news outlets have to say about this breaking news. Not in detail, just as short as possible. We will be coming up with more information as the project. So first of all, we go to CNN.
We've learned FBI Christopher Wray just his resignation. See Perez live from the Evan, talk to us about.
We were anticipating. I'm silence my. We're anticipating the either to talked to the FBI making show, and we're told that there's a town hall, an all hands at the FBI at this minute, where the FBI Director Chris Wray is telling the FBI employees that he is planning to resign, that he's planning to resign soon. It's not effective immediately. We don't know more details at this point, but this has been something that obviously has been the talk of Washington, has been talk of the country, because President Trump has made clear that he plans to replace Christopher Wray, FBI leadership. He already has chosen Kash Patel as his next FBI director. It was really of when is he planning to go?
As you heard it, the question is just a matter of when, because the obvious answer is already Trump has made up his mind to replace Wray by nominating Kash Patel and putting his absolute weight behind him in whatever way he can. So it's just about when. And for him to put quickly together the town hall to announce this, I don't know what is going on behind the scene, but I'm sure that something is really going on, because it was expected that whatever move he will make would take a little bit longer within the year, but he put it as quickly as possible, and now not even the details of the resignation is yet known. But whatever it is, whichever way it goes, everyone knows that at the end of this year, at the end of this administration, he's either going to be fired or he's going to, and he chose to resign. So that was the CNN respondent. As he said, he doesn't have any details yet. And I assume that news organization, they still have to him busy, and they still have to say, especially at the case of Andrew and MSM response anchor. I want to go at the end because he knows what extra that makes him look as sanctimonious as everyone knows he is. So let's see what NBC has to say about the breaking news.
Good day. We're coming on the air with breaking news. FBI Director Christopher Wray, who was first nominated by Donald Trump during his first administration, said he will be resigning from the agency. He announced he has stepped down at a town hall of FBI employees just moments ago. It's an unusual move because Wray still has 3 years left on his 10-year term leading the nation's premier law enforcement agency. But just a few weeks ago, President announced for that, signaling to Wray he should resign or likely will be fired. Mr. Trump's new pick for FBI director, former DOJ prosecutor Kash Patel. Patel is considered by many in the intelligence community to be a controversial pick, and he would require Senate confirmation. Let's go straight to our justice and intelligence correspondent, Ken Delaney. And Ken, what more can you tell us?
That's right, Lester. Christopher Wray has just announced to a group of FBI employees assembled at a town hall that he is planning to resign by the end of the term. He was not more specific than that. And once Donald Trump announced last month that he planned to nominate his ally Kash Patel as the FBI director, it did become clear that Wray would either have to resign or be fired. And I'm told that some people urge Wray to force Mr. Trump to fire him, to reinforce the idea that this is a norm-shattering event, the second FBI director Trump is forcing out before serving a full 10-year term. And I'm told that others counseled Mr. Wray that it would be better for the FBI workforce if he left on his own accord to avoid a messy firing where Mr. Trump might publicly criticize Mr. Wray and the Bureau, and that's what he decided to do. So Mr. Wray is leaving.
So what this man is doing is trying to cast FBI and Christopher Wray in a better eye, making it look like it wasn't because of his politicizing of the Bureau that got him fired, rather because he was doing the will of the people. On the contrary, everyone knows that he has been deep neck in politicizing the Bureau. So the act there that if he forced Trump hand to fire him, it would portray Trump as the one firing two FBI agents within his 2 tenures, makes anything different. It doesn't, because everyone knows James Comey was fired. First, he injected himself into the election, and secondly, he entrapped Trump and also investigated him. The same thing goes with FBI Wray. He was, if there is no other thing to remember, it was his team that raided the Mar-a-Lago. The first time a president sitting or retired or out was investigated in the 200 years history of the country. That is unprecedented. So if Trump is firing him and including one person else, it's not as much a thing as them investigating him and violating the sanctity of his son. Let's see what he has more to say.
With 2.5 years left in his term, presumably he will appoint an acting director as his successor. And this really marks the end of what was a delicate dance for Christopher Wray, where he tried for years to keep the FBI away from partisan politics and stay off of Donald Trump's enemies list. Running investigations of Mr. Trump. During Wray, the worst of Trump's critics, its special counsel, who supervised a special team investigating whether Mr. Trump conspired or obstructed justice. And then during Mr. Wray really couldn't avoid Donald Trump. He oversaw the FBI investigation, as everyone remembers, people who stormed 6 in the election in 2020. His handling of proved of Donald Trump something got that search agencies. He said that invaded my added quote I'm the things that he's
so from him. But the fact that Trump orchestrated the January 6th riot is still debatable. It doesn't go into any person's favor. Those who are against Trump believe he did, and those who are more open-minded believe that probably he had done something different, and those who are for Trump say that he didn't. So it is still debatable. And the idea about classified document or not, if that was supposed to be an issue, it would have been starting from
whether Mr. Trump conspired, obstructed justice,
Obama,
and then during Mr. Wray really couldn't avoid
having five document. In the time of
Trump,
he oversaw was not considered is against, and it backfired. And it backfired.
FBI investigation, as everyone remembers,
outside Trump's hit list or hated list, he was the one that deleted because for the
people who stormed 6
investigation or spying of his campaign after James Comey left.
In the
Pfizer
election in 2020, his handling of
under FBI arrest. So he was
proved of Donald Trump something got that search agencies. He said that invaded my added quote I'm the thing that he's so from him. But the fact that Trump orchestrated the January 6th riot is still debatable. It doesn't go into any person's favor. Those who are against Trump believe he did, and those who are more open-minded believe that probably he had done something different, and those who are for Trump say that he didn't. So it is still debatable. And the idea about classified document or not, if that was supposed to be an issue, it would have been starting from
perspective, the editor
whether Mr. Trump conspired and obstructed justice. And then
you can serve no more than 10 years, but on the other hand, the whole signaling of the
Mr. Wray really couldn't avoid
was Congress saying this isn't a political position that's supposed to span multiple terms of presidency. Even a presidential investigation,
as everyone remembers,
outside the FBI director has this 10-year term. But having said all that, obviously a president can hire
investigation or spying of
FBI director asked that it's been for cause except for Donald Trump. In other words, for Donald Trump, an FBI director removed except when their cause.
Now, as he said, they can be fired first. And insinuating or suggesting that Trump is firing him for no cause is just as deranged as all he has done, both investigating Trump and destroying whatever evidence, resetting their phones to the factory setting so that nothing can be retrieved. More deranged than I even believe. For him to believe that Trump is firing or intending to fire Wray without a cause means that he's either willfully ignorant or maliciously deceptive, because he knows that, and everyone knows it, that Wray was there when Vindman was shielded by Adam Schiff in the first impeachment. He was there when the Pfizer warrant was renewed several times. He was there when the entire lawfare was used against Trump. And it was his own FBI that raided Trump's house. It was the same FBI that had been going after families, going after mothers, calling mothers